Okay, so as I've said before, this is apparently, not apparently anymore, but unique brand makeup. My mother, back in 2014, right after I got out of the hospital, put on this watch party on my Facebook. She did it. She wrote this message right here that you see. I didn't write it or anything like that. I guess she wanted to sell makeup and shit, and she wanted to use my group of friends. And this is where she's been sex trafficking me online since 2014. She's been trafficking me my entire life. I can remember always spending the weekends when I was a little kid growing up, always at my parents' friend's house or their coworker's house, or apartments, and I would always sleep with them. I remember kissing them, and I remember other stuff that I'm not going to go into like that. But these aren't hallucinations. These aren't delusions or anything like that. These aren't psychotic episodes. These are real memories, and I can remember being handled inappropriately with them. And my molestation started at the age of 3. And it turns out now that was all connected. And for the last couple of years, I've been saying, these people seem to know all the details of my child molestation, details that nobody else should know unless you were involved. And now I know why. One of the things you also want to take into consideration is that the front door at the old house that burnt down, and the front door at the new house before it was even finished, she made sure she had the front door painted red. The Robles family name. Cross-reference. Just 1 second here. Real quick. In pornography and in chatterbait, stuff like that, which is all pornography, you will see usually people with tattoos of usually a cluster of 3 roses or 3 roses tattooed throughout their body. And what supposedly people say that it means is it stands for I love you. 1, 2, 3, 3 words, I love you. But I love you is something that most child molesters and pedophiles say to their victims as they're being molested. I'm doing this out of love. I'm doing this because I love you. Well, the 3 roses also stands for reading, writing, and arithmetic. 3 R's. 3 roses, 3 R's. And my mother's name is Rose, my grandmother. And if you also notice that all the men in her family, for example, Romeo Rosendo Robles or Roel Raimundo Robles, all have 3 R's in their family, in their name. 3 R's in their name. So that is even further confirmation that it also has a hidden meaning. The three R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. And if you notice, most of the women in my family, or most of my family members are all either administrators, principals, heads of the department, or teachers. For most of PSJ school district and other school districts as well. PSJ school district is one of the largest school districts in the nation. If you play video games, you'll also notice that there's a gaming platform called Roblox. Very, very similar to Robles. R-O-B-L-E-S, R-O-B-L-O-X. That's not a coincidence. That's a connection. That's connected. And that's also where they target and groom children. Also, the broadcast system OBS, R-O-B-L-E-S, OBS. That's also a way that they're able to spy on you and get access to your camera and your screen and share your screen without you ever knowing. And how they're able to conduct, their surveillance and stalking tactics. And here on Unique Watch Party. It supposedly is a company that is pro supporting victims of sex assault. But if you say the word unique in a different context, you get a different word. Eunuch, a male sex slave. And this watch party is connected to sites like Chaturbate.com, MyFreeCams.com, CamSoda.com, Cam4.com, ScriptChat.com. And this is where I myself and many others are being trafficked online, being manipulated, forced to, threatened, and given no other choice but to be performing sex acts online. And because a lot of a lot of males are involved, we're easily disregarded when we talk to the cops. They think they try to say, "Oh, you did it voluntarily," or how has a male sex trafficked? And that's exactly how. I've been manipulated to where I cannot get a job. I'm not allowed to work. I'm socially isolated and forced to do this, and I've been living this hell for my entire life. This online sex trafficking part for the last 7 years or so, it didn't just start with my friends then. All of my friends and people that I'm about to show you that are involved with this, my mother had arranged this with them from long ago. The first time that I know of the webcam started viewing and watch parties on like Zoom and Skype started happening was at least in 2010, back when 2011 when I moved to New Orleans, and my mom got me a webcam for Christmas because I had a girlfriend who I now found out was involved with this, Tara. She'd moved to Australia, so it was a way for us to communicate, and that's when this all started. Julie Reyes. Yeah. Okay, so whenever I post stuff on my Facebook, it thinks okay. So I'm barely figuring this out how to try to delete this fucking account. But whenever I go up to my Facebook and I post stuff, it's only posting to this fucking thing, and it's a private fucking chat room. That's why they're able to keep me quiet. Okay, here it is. All of these people, all these ladies, are all part of this watch party and all part of the sex trafficking ring. And as I've been saying, they're family members as well. This is fucking sick shit. Some of these are ex-girlfriends. Some of these are the mothers of the people that I grew up with. The mothers that have been watching me my entire fucking life. Co-workers, employees. Julie Reyes, woman I was in love with. My best friend. Also the teacher, lead director at Melba's Dance Studio. I'm sorry to say it, but Julie targets and grooms young women. She's part of this whole scheme. Celinda Ortega, ex-girlfriend, also co-worker, also a Tropical Texas caseworker. This is how it's connected to Tropical Texas Behavioral Health. And my doctor, Dr. Dolores Solis, and her husband, McAllen FBI agent. Also, these connections, Julie and Celinda were best friends with also with Carmen Medina, whose husband is Joel Solis. They're also involved. And Angela Kuo is a former employee. I can identify every single one of these girls, and I hadn't seen this list until today, but I've identified every single one of these girls on sites like Chaturbate and MyFreeCams.com that have been involved with this for as long as I have been. And I've identified them. Obviously, they're using deepfakes to try to hide their identity, but I'm able to detect it and to recognize them. Tejas Svetas is a Russian former manager at the Best Restaurant Group, and I believe also undercover spy for Russia. Camille Arbani, Best Restaurant Group. Vanessa Lynn grew up with her brother. Alison Proctor Hale, that's a BRG. Bernice Tavarera, she was a administrator at Nancy and Brass for me. Gina Castillo, former employee. Melanie Gonzalez, former employee. Sonia Amy Garcia, that's Andrew's wife. Whoa. Hold on. Casey Romano, another manager for Best Restaurant Group. CJ Barrett, cousin. Mari Gonzalez, former employee. Virginia Garcia, former employee. Augustine Ice, don't know who she is. Sarah Teddy Mandel, Kimberly McKay, also Best Restaurant Group. Danica Parker, met her through Labatt. Allison Proctor's Besh. Camille Arbani's Besh. Vanessa Silva was Besh. These are also all girls that, I recognized one of them yesterday. Her name is Melissa Montero. She's one of the girls that testified against John Besh. She's also a Russian spy. And she's also involved with this watch party. So, I'm not saying that Besh didn't do all those things, but one of the ladies that accused Besh definitely is full of shit. So anybody who's a friend of all my friends also had access to this. Fuck. Okay, Amy Garcia. Let's look at this girl here first. Sonia Amy Garcia. Who is this? It's interesting because Andrew's wife is named Amy Garcia, and I've long suspected that Amy Garcia is actually Melissa Palacios, a convicted felon supposed to be serving life in prison for murdering an elderly man for his money. And I made posts about it before, and one of the things that I've also caught on to is that one of my mother's best friends is Velma Leon, who owns the Sunset Memorial Funeral Homes. She has access to dead bodies. She has access to being able to basically make people disappear or reappear. And I've got evidence that would suggest that people in my own family have faked their deaths, including my Aunt Kathy Clark. Yeah, boy. Okay. I wonder if this Sonia Amy Garcia is dead. Let's see real quick. Holy shit. $2021. May. That's about the time I met Amy. There you go, guys. That's where Amy Garcia came from. She assumed a dead person's fucking identity. Here's another fucking, really fucking scary piece of information. My family members and associates have been impersonating me online, apparently. Pretending to be whatever the fuck. Pretending to be me. And it's been making me look really, really bad, apparently. As in, like, associating me with, like, hate groups and white supremacist groups and like pedophile groups. And I obviously don't have any money, so like my mother was going to be supposed to order me a jacket from eBay, and it was I just have always liked the style, but it's a World War II military leather jacket. The jacket was supposed to be here over a week ago, and for some reason my mother keeps giving me excuses that the jacket is not coming in. It's not coming in. It's not coming in. Next week. She says she got a letter or something like that from eBay. So I was like, okay. When I first met Amy Garcia, I was told that she had 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. I met the young lady the very first time I met her back in, well, this was obviously before the fire. So I think it was probably the month before the fire, or the month of the fire. So back in either March or April. And when I met her, there was a female, a young lady, a girl, like maybe 13 to 16 age range, maybe. And I was introduced to her as her daughter. At my dad's funeral, there was only 2 sons. And when I asked about the daughter, I was told that there was no daughter. I have this big fear. I'm not going to make this accusation. I'm saying I have a fear. I'm very, very scared that little girl is going to come up missing or dead, and it's going to be tried to be blamed on me. First of all, secondly, I can guarantee you this part. I can guarantee you there's going to be some crime that is either happening now or happening in the very, very near future, or has just happened. Something in the last 2 weeks since I've ordered that jacket, and that jacket's going to be tied to that crime. So that when I receive that jacket, a crime can be tied to me. But I know, I'm positive that I met a young lady when I was introduced to Amy Garcia for the first time. And what was also very, very odd, and I've got recordings of it, was when we were in the limousine on the way to, between the funeral home and the funeral. The way her sons talked to her, it was like she was like a friend, like almost like she wasn't the real mother. Like they were real, like, Miss Amy, or like real like. He called her mom, but I mean, like the way he said it was like he wasn't asking her questions like she was his mother. Like, I mean, it was just a really, really weird relationship. I don't know how they got that. Like I said, I can't say without 100% certainty that it's really the case. But I know I met a daughter. And here, I'll go ahead and see if I can pull it up right now. Melissa Patterson Palacios. So the Palacios family is my mother's best friend's Norma family. Norma, by the way, had a daycare center in San Antonio that she ran out of her house. No wonder that why they were best friends, right? Another person who had a daycare center that I used to stay at when I was a kid in San Antonio, her name was Mary. She was the next door neighbor. She lived 2 houses down from us on Falcon Grove in San Antonio. She's also involved in this. I've recognized her before as AK Ginger Snaps on Chatterbait. Now, what was interesting is that my brother's wedding was originally scheduled for this coming week in December, but all of a sudden in August, like 2 weeks before they did it, my mother said, "Hey, they're gonna have a shotgun wedding," and I was like, "Why? Like, is she pregnant?" And she said, "No, but the pastor won't allow them to live together unless they're married." I was like, "Well, then tell the fucking pastor to pay the fucking rent then. because Andrew was going to get in an apartment with his buddy, supposedly, because this is while we were all homeless, and Andrew supposedly was going to get an apartment with his buddy, and wait to get married, and then move in with Melissa after they got married. But all of a sudden, they decided to move in together, and then had to get married, at the beginning of May, which would kind of comply with that whole timeline, and having to be able to assume the identity. There you go. That's Melissa Palacios Patterson, all right? So, if she really is tied into this, she's already proven that she has no problem killing old people. And I've been swearing my dad was poisoned, because I was poisoned too. I just didn't have all the health problems that he did, so I survived. And I caught on to how they were doing it. Okay, so then now you look at Amy. I'll show you some pictures right now. Okay, so look at this. Take a sense of this real quick. Now from the gallery. That's my cousin Becca right there. She's one of the people that's been involved the entire time. That's also she goes by. I'm not gonna hide that picture, but that's Michael's wife. Micah. This Victoria Villanova. One and the same. James Robles. That's all James. Look at the mouth. Look at the mouth. James. The red door, the house. There you go. Look at the face. Now, the Palacios family is a very, very prominent family in Florida. You got a couple of judges right now, and they've always had judges in the family. You've got some police chiefs in the family, and they're tied to my family, which my family is sex traffickers. So Amy assumed her place in prison. She was escaped, and she took over a dead woman's fucking name, identity. And they had to get married to solidify everything. God damn it, I'm right. Because there's a video that I posted about this, and it shows the text message string between me and my mother when I questioned her about this whole shit, and she got fucking uber pissed. And that if I posted anything, that we were gonna have problems. And that's why for the last several months, as I've been posting videos, saying that people have been making it look like my family is doing this, or trying to frame my family is because she's been threatening me. And because I'm not allowed to get a job and I have to depend on them for fucking money and all that kind of shit to eat, I have to fucking play nice. But 2 days ago, I caught them trying to fucking break into my fucking RV, and as I showed up, I got shot at. Video's posted. I got shot at a total of at least 6 times. She tried to blame the house fire on me, even though they're the ones that started it. She tried to murder my dad at that time. And when the house fire started, my mother was in the next door neighbor's garage, sitting down and just chilling the entire time, while my dad and the dog were still in the house, and she didn't know where I was. I was in the back trying to put out the flames and then trying to wet the roof to keep the fire from spreading. And then shotgun shells that were in that patio that I had in there started firing off. So then I left the backyard to get safe. And by that time, the fire department's there, and my dad and the dog are still in there, and she's there next door in the garage, just sitting down and just chilling, not even trying to make sure that the husband and the dogs are okay. And me, they're trying to fucking keep me from going in there. They're having to pull me out because I'm trying to get save my dad and my dog, or their dog, and finally get my dad out, and then they're still trying to get in and to try to save the dog, and then they finally get the dog out. But the entire time, my mother's just there chilling, just talking to the next door neighbor's wife. That doesn't sound like somebody who's give a shit about her husband's life. And then when I questioned her about the poisoning in one of the videos I posted, you hear how she doesn't deny it. She's like, "Oh, so you think I did it?" I was like, "So you're not denying that he had poisoning, or the fact that, well, maybe we should look into this. If your son, if you got symptoms of being poisoned as well, then maybe we should look into this. Maybe it could help save your father's life." None of that. So because there's police chiefs. Oh, also, the night at the shooting, just to make sure to reiterate, the two officers that showed up on scene, the last names that they gave me were Solis and Fox. These are both Hispanic guys. Solis, same last name as Dolores Solis and Joel Solis, who were involved with this. And Fox family, Danielle Fox, she's also involved with this. In the Fox family were also clients of mine at Lansky and Bratz. And Danielle's a mental health care specialist. And she also connected to Julie Doyle, and she's connected to this. And she's about my age, and I can identify her. I've identified her several times. She's been involved with this the entire time as well. So I've never seen a Hispanic guy named Fox unless he married into the family. But they didn't do anything, even though they saw the recording of me getting shot at. So what do you want us to do? So there was the response, and I've got the recording. I haven't posted it yet, but I've got the recording of the conversation. You mean it was just like, okay, so yeah, you can prove it. Why not? What? And that was the second. And then earlier last week, I also had an incident with with an Alamo police officer harassing me at 7:30 in the morning, trying to scare the shit out of me because I put a video of him during me reporting a police report, and it shows that he was covering up the child sex trafficking there. So he got pissed off, and now he was harassing me and using the RV place to do it. So this evening, I identified my mother online as a Crazy Chrissy on Chatterbait, and she's been somebody who I've been dealing with and has catfished me like for the last 6 years. I didn't even realize it was my mother until today. But she kept mentioning 3 a.m. So I think I got about 3 hours left before another attempt is made on my life, or they're going to try to section me again. And what they've done, this is fucked up. They went and fucked with my plumbing system there that's connected to my septic tank in my bathroom, and clogged it all up and made it explode. So now I've got shit all over my bathroom, and now I can't even get to get it. And then they fucked with my vacuum cleaner, so I can't fucking vacuum it up. My fucking bathroom is full of shit, and I can't clean it up until at least tomorrow. So if they try to fucking section me between now and then, they're gonna fucking say that look at the bathroom and say, look, he can't take care of himself. He's living in unsanitary conditions. He's got to go in. I fucking know exactly that's what they're gonna fucking try to pull. So sorry, Mom. Sorry, family. I'm gonna have to bust you now. This is out in the open. Fuck. This fucking sucks. So just to be clear, I am not a danger to myself or anybody else. I am not suffering from mania. I am not exhausted. I've been sleeping. I slept fucking most of the day. I forgive my family. I forgive everybody involved. But that doesn't mean that they can get away without being punished. It's not my place to punish them. I don't need that responsibility on my head or on my conscience. The only way I can free myself from their chains is by forgiving them and moving forward, and let the authorities do their fucking job for a change. I'm filing charges on everybody. Everybody I've mentioned and everybody else I haven't mentioned. I'm filing charges. I remember being molested. I remember being abused by my family. I remember everything. And all my life I've been made to feel like an outsider, and I thank God that I am. And if anybody wants to help me out, I could really use some support, because I haven't been allowed to get victims assistance. The only kind of employment that I've been able to get, which is limited, is Uber and Instacart, but that's actually connected to my family, and they've been using that Uber and Instacart to conduct a credit card fraud via third party. So I'm the third party basically. So they've got the real like payment cards and shit like that, while I've been given copies or fakes basically, and they're falsifying my identity, and that way they can establish a timeline of me being in certain places when I, otherwise normally wouldn't have been there. But yeah, and this past summer they also intercepted my new driver's license that was supposed to be coming in the mail. They intercepted 3 of them, so they got 3 of my driver's licenses. So in Tropical, Texas, for this past summer, also tried to file they submitted a W-2 in my name to try to collect on all the sex trafficking money, and they didn't realize that I'd already filed my taxes, so then it got flagged. So and last week, of course, there's another video where it says that they were trying to move me this past yesterday into a different lot without changing the address. So somebody was supposed to try to assume my identity as of yesterday. That was the day that apparently some shit was going to be happening, and they needed to have me disappeared, because basically for the last 5-6 months since the fire, nobody can confirm my existence. As far as anybody knows, they could say that I died in the fire, and nobody would be able to confirm it, because my identity's been fucking taken over. And I've been in and I lived in a hotel, 2 hotels, the Holiday Inn Suite, or the Holiday Inn, is it? They're in Sherry Road in 83. Yeah, Holiday Inn Express, and that hotel was involved with the sex trafficking as well, and I've got proof of it. And the rest of the time I was in the America's Best Inn in Far, and that hotel was involved with it, and I can prove it. And then now I can prove that the RV park was also involved with it, because when I was signing the lease, I signed the lease for the lot 262, and somehow, some way, between signing the lease and a day and a half later, a empty RV that's never been used got moved into lot 262. So then I moved into 266, and now they were trying to move me into a different lot, but without changing the address. Here, look, you can see for yourself. I do apologize, but your light has been ready for their coming Monday. I could work out a discount on electricity for this. They haven't even given me my last 2 electric bills. They were trying to hold on to them, so then they could fucking hit me with like a 3-month long electric bill that I wouldn't be able to pay. So then they could fucking cut the electricity on me. So you see, they're fucking with me. And that's fucked up though. Fuck with my fucking goddamn toilet. That's fucking disgusting, dude. That's fucked up. And I got proof of them mentioning it. Like they're the ones who fucked my toilet. I didn't just fucking clog my toilet up. No, they fucked it with it. Because the night that I got shot at, they were breaking into my RV, but they were messing with the side panel where the plumbing is. And one morning, I even heard them like with tools outside underneath my RV. They're the ones who fucked with my goddamn toilet. So yeah, this is what I told her. Stay where you are, we'll be fine. Please clean up a lot. The address for everyone is in the park and the same, but has different mailbox number. If there's anything you can have, yeah. Oh, but she was like, here. The address would not change. So, yeah. So my mother's group of best friends are the Yoyas. One of them's owns a daycare. One of them owns a funeral parlor, and another one is Texas Supreme Court Judge Dori Contreras Garza. And for the last 6 weeks or so, my Windows PC has been thinking it's at her place. She grew up on the street well, anyway, she's tied to a house that my computer thinks that it's at in Far, Texas. And currently to this day, it still thinks it's that address, but that address is tied to her. So you got a judge, you got a person who gets rid of dead bodies, you got David, who's a dentist. David's in our family. You've got judges in our family. You got police chiefs in our family. You got my family, which is my grandmother's name is Castellano, which is directly related to the Paul Castellano Gambino crime family. And then there's a mirror site of Chatterbait called WhiteHouseCrimes.com, and WhiteHouseCrimes.com refers to Paul Castellano's mansion that he had built before he died. So my life's in extreme danger. I survived another murder attempt 2 days ago, and at 3 a.m. something else is supposed to happen. So I hope I make it. Let's see if we can fucking figure this out. So every single one of these girls are fucking involved. How do I fucking take this off? And that's why when I tried to delete my Facebook a long time ago, it didn't. Well, maybe the original one deleted, and this is the one that assumed it's a position. Look at that, little fucking girls. One of the watch parties my motherfucking hosted was all about kudos. Kudos meant kiddos. But that's fucking sick, dude. So you see, and the fact that she did this on my fucking Facebook page too, make it look like I was fucking involved with their bullshit. Fucking sick motherfuckers. So, anyway, I don't have any fucking money. And I'm about to be really fucked tomorrow, so, I think I'm gonna try to start a GoFundMe or some shit. I don't know. I mean, it really is pointless to try because it's just what's gonna happen is what happened last time is my mother will either delete it or assume assume management of it, and then I won't see any of the money. So yeah, if anybody wants to throw me a fucking bone and put something together for me, that'd be really, really appreciated. I'm not begging or anything like that. I can take care of myself now. As long as my communications aren't being blocked. I've developed a cooking system, as you've seen on the other videos, that's worth billions of dollars, and recipes that are worth a lot of money too. I'm not concerned about having to be able to take care of myself in the long run, but in the interim, I'm kind of fucked right now. And the RV that I'm living in is bugged. It does have cameras installed in it that I don't know the location of, and it's a fucking shit sty now. So I really don't want to be living there. So yeah, I could use all the fucking help I can get for the time being. Trust me, you will be paid back in full. Because I'm gonna be fucking rich. God damn, this fucking sucks, dude. This fucking sucks, man. My fucking friends, my family. God damn it, this sucks.